This is the Geneva Shore Report coming to you from Thursday afternoon at the Niche, which is this wonderful coffee shop, which as you enter the Geneva National, you turn right and you'll come right to this coffee shop. We are here on this. Would you please take your mask down so we can hear you?
Thank you, George. It is Thursday afternoon, October 29th, 2020. I'm Lisa Otto. And
George Belushi Jr.
Okay, but more excitingly, we are here with a special guest. We are here with Allan Cottle. Hello,
Yes.
Allan.
Hi.
Okay, he's got a great story to share with us, but first I'm just going to mention he's been a pilot for many years and most recently has become a pilot with NASA. So that's super exciting, and he's got some great information, exciting information about water on the moon. Okay,
All right.
Allan.
And you were on that flight. You had everything to do with what happened there. Tell us.
The flight was back in 2018, in August of 2018, where NASA discovered with our infrared telescope on the 747, it's airborne, they were able to discover that there's actually water on the moon on the sunlit side, which was not previously known. And even though we knew there was hydrogen on that side of the moon, we didn't know it was attached to an oxygen atom, hence H2O. So the water now, they found out, is contained in the soil, in small glass-like beads, they believe. And that water is really important. First of all, it can help with understanding how the universe is evolving and changing over time, how we got here, how water developed on the Earth. But more importantly, that water is possibly available to the Artemis program as NASA moves forward in the next.
What is the Artemis program?
Artemis program is the mission NASA has to put men and women on the moon in a station.
In a moon base.
A moon base.
And water would give them the ability to have air.
A lot of things. You can take H2O and you can break it into hydrogen.
If you have enough energy.
Yes.
And you would get your energy from where?
Solar.
Ah, good point.
Plenty of sun on the bright side of the moon.
Without atmosphere? Right. Oh, wow.
Atmosphere, and they can break that down. They can make hydrogen fuel. You can make oxygen to breathe. You can have water to drink. So it's really a valuable resource.
And with all of the political overload that we are going through right now, this is a very fun, exciting discovery. So
Yeah, it really was. It was an exciting, really exciting for NASA. For me in particular, as a pilot for Sophia now, it's really.
What is Sophia?
yeah, explain Sophia, because that's kind of cool.
It's a 747 SP, which means specialized performance, that we fly. And in the back of the airplane, we have a door that opens up in flight between the wings and the back of the tail. And there's a 106-inch telescope. It's infrared. So it's not optical. It doesn't look at light, but it sees the light that we can't see. And we fly that up around 40,000 feet to maybe 45,000 feet. And we take in the light that we can't see. And we're above the atmosphere, so it doesn't block the light waves. And then SOFIA, which we call it, is an acronym for Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy. So it took me about, as long as it did to train in the airplane, it took me longer to remember what Sophia actually is.
I doubt that.
Yeah, Sophia is much easier.
Yeah, I'll stick to Sophia.
So you guys were up there at 45,000 feet, and you decided to look at the moon, which wasn't part of the plan.
It was just a sub part of the mission. Now, I actually was not on that mission, but I did have a really close friend who mission planned it, which is fantastic. And we do a lot of things with the telescope. Generally, we'll have, the last mission I was on, we were looking for gas out in the Orion constellation, and magnetic fields and gas clouds, and how that relates. In this one, they just happened to, hey, let's just take a look at the moon, and we'll just look at it for a short period of time, just thinking that it was going to be like any other time. And they knew there was hydrogen there.
How did they know? How did they know what's there from looking at the results? What tells them?
If you think about light or energy in a wave form, so let's say, like sort of like an S laying on its side, from one point to the other would be the length of the wave. And so the wavelength they were looking at and seeing hydrogen was 3 microns, 3-micron range.
3 millionths of
millionths of an inch.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden they're looking at they see light waves, lengths of wave at 6.1 microns, and that's water.
Okay.
So that was a.
So hydrogen is 3, and then water is 6.1.
Water was 6.1.
And it's always water when you're
It's always water when you
6.1.
see it there. And,
Cool.
And some of that, I'm certainly no expert in it, in that field. I fly the airplane, and I go to the back, and I see 20-something-year-olds and 30-something-year-olds, who are just these incredibly gifted and amazing scientists. And they have computers in the back of the airplane. They're looking at screens, and the telescope is tracking, and then they pull all the data from that and analyze it and come up with information. So it's really.
And you live in Lake Geneva.
I do.
Amazing.
I do.
What a wonderful coincidence.
I did. This was something I never anticipated I'd be doing.
But it's very cool you are. And your family is, they've been a part of the whole space exploration and NASA and all kinds of things.
In your history.
My dad was involved in it since the late 1950s. He worked on the Mercury and Gemini projects. He also worked on the shuttle a little bit and rocketry. And so as a little kid, I was 6 years old, I took a piece of heat shield to kindergarten to show and tell. So, the planning is...
Could you do that for us here?
Yeah.
Have you still got it?
When I actually interviewed for the job, the guy said, "Well, why would you want to work at NASA?" And I said, "You don't understand. I've been doing this my whole life." And the guy says to me, "I went to space camp." and so we got it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, I go to work for NASA, and I go up to the office to sign my paperwork for human resources, and the other guy with me says, "By the way, this was Neil Armstrong's office."
Oh, how
Or,
cool.
The guy that set co-pilot for me and helped me in training was the guy who used to fly the space shuttle around on back of the 747. He's the original guy. And he gets to be my co-pilot. And it's just so humbling.
Yeah.
And I'm like a little kid at the candy shop. It's just, after 50-something years, it's a dream.
Well, I'm glad this is all coming back, and I'm glad SpaceX is doing what it's doing as well.
It's an amazing program in conjunction with NASA, and it's going to be, I can't even imagine the developments that we're going to have. Looking back at all the developments that come from the space program, Velcro, computers, and all the things that we never dreamed of, all came from the space program.
Well, this is the first in a series of these we're going to do with you as far as interviewing, because we don't have many people like you in the community that we can come and harass and force you to talk to us. Anyway, it's a grand pleasure. We are here on...
It is Thursday afternoon. I'm Masato.
Allan Cottle, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, Alan. Thank you so much. And we'll be talking to you again soon. This is George Belushi Jr., and that is the rest of the story. Bye-bye.